Hi everyone, this is Jim King with Insights to Freedom. We're trying to figure out some technical things here, but welcome and jot down and leave me a comment that you can see what's going on here, and I'm glad to have you here. We're going live today from my house. Most of us are kind of on lockdown, so to speak, or stay at home, different things during this virus. So, Luke, welcome. Glad you guys can watch. Heard you guys might be at the reservoir here in Wyoming. So I'm glad that we have some freedoms here that other people don't have. But I want to welcome everyone here and am glad that you have had a chance to look over and view some of the different blogs and ads and different podcasts or whatever we put out there to try to get feedback on. Many of you have watched some of those and commented. Interestingly enough, over the last month, we put out a number of these on Facebook and emails and different things, and we had over 100,000 people watch these videos or make comments or share or those kinds of things. And first of all, I want to say thank you for that, because we just really appreciated all of the involvement by people, and we had people from all over the world actually being a part of that. So thank you in advance. We noticed over a period of time, because we put out a number of different titles and ads and different themes and those kinds of things, that there were some common threads that started to come back that I noticed, and I wanted to address some of those in case it's something that you have interest with. And there was a feeling with many people of a hopelessness. It could be because of what's going on within the financial systems and because of the virus right now. Another one was a loss of freedoms. Many people commented on feeling like there was a loss of freedoms. There was a general insecurity about just the unknown of what is going to happen. Obviously, things like loss of jobs or how to pay bills. Our retirement accounts are being affected greatly by the stock market or a failing in general. And then really a sense of a lack of trust. Many comments based on a lack of trust towards government officials or people that are in power overall. Most people will say, and this is outside of our ads or things like that, but most people are saying now, we're just kind of waiting to see if it will go back to normal. When this is all through and things get back to the way it was, and different thoughts and comments like that. And really one of the questions I want to ask is that what we really want? Because obviously the way things were before really set up what is happening now. And so I want to just ask a question: do we really want to go back towards that same way it was? It seems secure. It seems like things were going very well. But then within a very short period of time, it was not going very well. And so if the system in which we live is broken, if the financial system is broken, if the way we do social distancing helps something, or we close down schools or whatever it might be, there's this system out there. If it was great before, why is it broken now in such a short period of time? The reality is that now is the time to change. It's not, hey, let's wait to see what happens and if it's going to go back to normal. Now is the time to change. Nobody's going to change that for you. For us to wait on the government to give us bailout money or to revive the economy or whatever we're saying, we got to stop waiting for that. Okay, they were part of the reason that we got into the situation that we are now, and now we're expecting them to fix it. That's a common human problem, or part of our nature, is that if something happens to us, we expect the other person to fix it. In this situation, it's not going to happen. And if I could give you some encouragement, I would say, hey, take control of what you can take control of and let the other stuff go. You can't control the things you can't control, and yet we live under this great amount of fear, trying to take control of something that we really don't have control of. So, hey, Emily and Art, I see you guys. Thanks for being on here. Sarah and Ann, great to have you. Some of the current pain points that we're facing, that we've already talked about a little bit right now, we're feeling that they're created by this system that is kind of out of our control. And it's true that much of the pain that we're feeling now has been created by something that we don't feel like we have a lot of control over. And yet the system itself, even if we're given money, even if we are bailed out in a certain way, if we have small business or whatever, the reality of it is that the underlying system itself is not going to get better. It's not getting better. As a matter of fact, we would have to have an argument here, and many of the comments that were on our ads and on Facebook and different things made light of the fact that, hey, it's way worse than what we're even talking about. And if that's true, then what can be done? I mean, it seems kind of overwhelming. And if it's only going to get worse, what's the point here? But the reality of it is that this broken system is a macro problem. It's a macro financial problem. If we look at, what can we do, because the Federal Reserve is going to hand out money and we don't have anything to say about that. And they're going to increase taxes so much, what can we do about that? It just seems so burdensome and so overwhelming. But the reality of it is there is a pathway that we can choose to freedom. There is different things that we can do to begin to take control of what we can take control of. And that's what we're really trying to do. So at Insights to Freedom, what we're really trying to do is to build a community of people that are like-minded, and they're looking for things that we can put into practice in our own lives to have financial freedom and spiritual freedom and emotional freedom and physical freedom. Okay, so there is many different types of freedom. They really seem to go hand in hand in many ways. Now, if I was to say to you, really beg you in a way to make sure that this is the time that you plant the stake in the ground, that you say, I don't want to live that way anymore. Okay, and don't assume that change is just going to happen miraculously over a period of time. It's not going to happen. Okay, the only change that we're going to see is probably more taxation, more control, less of our own personal rights. And those are the things that we cannot really control that well personally. Okay, now we can join together as patriots in the United States and force some of those things to change with one another. And really on a small scale, that's what we're trying to do within Insights to Freedom, is to come up with a group of people that are willing to say, hey, we believe in each other, we're going to stand for what is right, and we're going to help each other overcome what's happening on the macro level by changing what's happening on the micro level, which is something that we can do. Okay? Now, I have a plan. I've been studying the system for a long time, and I've been telling people all over for a long period of time, we are due for a very difficult time in the U.S. financially. This is before the virus, okay? And I've heard arguments that the virus was really a cover-up to how bad it was going to get financially, and it kind of took our eyes off of the real issue of what was happening underneath everything. The economy was destined, because of decision making, to go through a very difficult season, okay? And you and I are feeling that right now. But if we would have known beforehand, okay, I'm not talking about the virus, I'm talking about financially a system that was going to fail at some point, and we would have prepared for that, how would it have been different now? Okay, so one of the things in my ads that my team and I did, we tried to put some different ideas out there that included problems, like what are the problems that we're facing out there? And then we had all these comments and everything, but the reality is they didn't really answer that much what a solution could be. But the goal of Insights to Freedom is to bring solutions to these problems. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example. Okay, a number of years ago, I began studying a system known as infinite banking. Infinite banking is something that the wealthy have done for centuries, and the elite families of the world have done. And currently, many of the bigger banks are very vested in it. And politicians, the wealthy, they've been doing this for a long period of time. But you and I and the common person don't really hear about it that often. And part of that training and part of the learning of that was revealing to me that there was a way to prepare. There was a way that all of us could prepare, and on a very small scale, a micro scale, we could secede from the current system that was going to be so disruptive to the lives of so many people. Now, this is a financial system, but it's going to touch on every area of life, okay? Part of what was being taught also was a different mindset of economics known as Austrian economics. And Austrian economics basically ties their belief that there needs to be some kind of stable foundation to the value of money. Okay, and we can go into that in the weeks and months ahead in Insights to Freedom, and I hope that you want to be a part of that community with us. But Austrian economics basically teaches a completely different method, and it ties value on assets to a very secure base. Okay, that's the opposite of what's happening in our country right now with fractional reserve and basically printing money out of nothing with no base for that money. Now, if we would have known that beforehand, which my wife and I did, and you would have done this as well, how would this season that we're going through have been impacted? How would it impact your family? Okay, so the reality is my wife and I have resources in this system. It is available to us. It's making money every day. It's not affected by the stock market whatsoever. Future generational passing of that wealth is going to be tax-free, and the list goes on. And it's available to me and to you and to everybody else. So on a micro system, we can secede from this macro thing going on within our government, and you can begin to take care of the resources and have control of the resources that you have made or been given, and the greater system is not eroding that wealth in the same way. Okay, that's something that I want to discuss within the Insights to Freedom group. Okay, so let's concentrate on that, and what I want to present to you really is this idea that we can have a group. It is possible to have a community of people that gather on a very regular basis and learn from each other different ways that we can not just survive in this system, but that we can thrive. And I want to say that that's going to be critical for all of us coming up, that we have a community around us where we can share and we can begin to build trust together to say, hey, these people want the very best for me. They're going to bring value into our lives, that what they're saying to us is valuable, and they believe in the gifts that I have. I believe in the gifts that you have and how it can have an impact in our own community. Okay, so what we are presenting is a subscription to Insights to Freedom. This subscription typically is $19.95 a month, and really for that cost, I'm paying my team, and I'm taking care of the bills that need to be taken care of. And any profit out of that, we are heavily invested in some nonprofit groups that help feed and give the basic necessities to poor people in Central America. We have another one that we're wanting to commit to that is more about human trafficking. And so on a deeper level, Insights to Freedom is to help other people. That's what we want to do, okay? Which is part of our mission. I want it to be part of your mission too as you join. But if you join, the typical cost is $19.95 a month. But I told my team I don't want it to be that much. I want it to be less than $10. I want it to be easy for people to join. Once you join, you're going to get a list of the things. As a matter of fact, on our website, insightstofreedom.com, you can look through this. You can sign up there for $9.95 a month and become part of our community. And I hope that you're looking forward to that and looking forward to joining. And it's going to include things like a private Facebook group. We're going to be able to have discussions on that group about things that will bring freedom in our own lives. I'm going to give you access to me personally through Zoom chats, and the list goes on and on. Okay, so I'm going to send you emails and blogs and podcasts, books to read, all these things that are steeped in things like infinite banking or Austrian economics, or how the system of Wall Street and government really is against us building our wealth. And this is also about deeply spiritual things too, and how we can connect together with other people to build our faith that there are people out there, there are good systems out there that we can key in on if we just know what they are. We can't know what we don't know. Okay, so hey, click on join our group, and I look forward to getting to know you in the months ahead. So if you have any comments, scroll down, leave me a comment, get a hold of me through the website, and we can begin this dialogue together. But I'm looking forward to you joining the team. And share if you would too. If you get a chance to share the website, insightstofreedom.com, with other like-minded people. Our special of $9.95 a month is actually going to go through April 30th, and then people can still join after that, but it'll go back up to the regular price, and which is still great, and it's not a problem. If you decide to go further with this program in the future, then obviously we're going to adjust the cost of the subscription as well. So, hey, good to see everybody. Thanks for joining, and hope to see you again soon.